Hello, coloring friends. So today's video is probably one of everybody's favorite videos, and that is the completed pages video. This one is for the month of October, and quite honestly, I didn't get to as many pages as I would have liked. I did 7 pages, all of which are on my channel, except for the one out of Wildflower Folk. I did post that one on Instagram, but I did not make a video out of it. So yeah, let's just go ahead and get started with these pages here. All right, so the first page that I will show you is out of Wildflower Folk, and like I mentioned, this is not a color along on my channel. I did this one off camera. It is a buddy color with Line Art Mingle. I'll put her link there on the screen and down in the description box below. She's over on Instagram. And this is the page that we did together. Now, I have to apologize. I know I've apologized multiple times to her, but it took me forever to do this page. We actually picked it out back in, I believe it was either late May or early June. And then, you know, the summer just got so busy and I took a break from coloring. And so this month, October, I finally got around to coloring this page. She was so patient to wait for me. So thank you so much. And so for the mediums that I used here, I used my alcohol markers as a base pretty much for everything. And then I went over with my Prismacolor pencils and Neocolor 2s for the background. And then I did my little favorite splatter marks with my white Winsor & Newton ink. Let me see if I can grab it for you here. This is it right here. I use this a lot on my pictures. You know, I used to use watered down acrylic paint, and that works fine too, but I got lazy, and this is already in a liquid form that is perfect for creating splatters. And I just love the magical look, you know, the white splatters give. This is on my Amazon storefront, which there's a link for that down below as well if you want to pick yourself up some of that. And oh, also, by the way, this stuff lasts forever. And for a little bit of accents, I used like a yellow and a white Tule Art paint pen here in the flowers. And then some white Posca on the edges of these flowers here. And yeah, I love how this page turned out. The Neocolor 2 background looks really nice, and it worked really well on this paper. So I will put her page up on the screen here, and you can see the side by side. I just love the spring colors that she used. The greens and the yellows look so incredibly beautiful against that blue background, and the pop of the pink butterflies in there just really, really adds a nice touch. So thank you, Line Art Mingle, for doing this buddy color with me. I absolutely love the paper quality in this book. I will be coloring 2 more pages out of this book in November. And at least one of them will make it to video for a color along. I don't know if both of them will, just because editing takes so long, but I do have a buddy color coming up, and we're gonna do a page out of this book. So that will be fun. I am really looking forward to that. So the next book I worked out of was Tales from the Witch's Cottage by Hannah Carlson. And this page was the result of a poll that I had up on my channel at the beginning of the month asking which page from this book. I posted a few pages to pick from and asked you all which one you wanted to see for a color along, and this is the one that you all chose to see, and I just absolutely love how this one came out. I did a Neo Color 2 background. This time I used Derwent ink tints for most of the page for her hair, her dress, and the cauldron, and green goo coming out of the cauldron. And then I used Tule art pens for accents all around. I believe my white Posca. I threw in some stickles too. So I hadn't used stickles in a while, but I don't know if you can see the glitter there on these little kind of sparkle stars around the page. And also these have some of that stickles in them as well. And yeah, this page turned out really good. It came together quickly. I loved using my Derwent ink tints. I definitely need to get those out more often. All right, so the next page is out of Seasons, also from Hannah Carlson. And many of you know that I am trying to finish this book. I'm down to just a few pages that are fall themed out of this book that still need to be colored. I only got to one page in October. I was hoping to get to more pages, but I only made it to one page. And that is, let's see if I can get to it here. Let's see, this page here. So this page made it as a color along on my YouTube channel. Now for this page, I used my go-to mediums, Neocolor 2s for the background, Prismacolor pencil work, all pretty much everywhere else. I didn't base it with anything. It was just layers of pencil. And I did use a couple Tule art pens and a white Posca. The Tule art pens were kind of to help add this glow and kind of light effect to these little cute light bulbs. And I also used some Tule art in the beetle here and on these berries. And I did, let's see, oh yes, some gold splatter. Now, here's the other Winsor & Newton ink that I use a lot. Let me grab it here. It's the gold ink, and you kind of have to shake it up a little bit. But yeah, see that? It is just, I love it. So the Winsor & Newton, the gold and the white, I use quite a bit. So that's what I used for the splatter effect here. I don't know if you can see it too much on camera, but it does really show in person. Yeah, it's gorgeous. Anyway, this page, I struggled at first with trying to figure out what colors to use. Then I got out my Sarah Renee Clark color cube and found a color palette there that really helped kind of as a springboard, just kind of a starting place to get my colors together and help make my color combinations. And then once I started, it all just kind of came together. And I'm very happy with how this page turned out. I got a lot of comments on this page. A lot of people really liked it, so that made me very happy. You know, I definitely want to be an inspiration to people and share what I can to this lovely coloring community. All right, so that's it out of Seasons. The next book I worked out of was Yana Prosperina's Witches, and this was my first page out of this book. I had had this book for a couple of years and I hadn't even colored in it, so I was really happy that I got at least one page done out of this book. And this is the page that I did. I titled it October's Child because in the back she has each page already titled, which was really great for me because sometimes I'm like, what do I call this page? And that really helps out when the artist already has that page with a name on it that I can refer to. So for this page, I did my Ohuhu alcohol basing, which is what I really like to do when I'm working on Amazon paper. That really just helps with the color intensity and removing those white spots. I can never seem to get rid of the white spots for some reason when I'm coloring on Amazon paper, and that really helps out with that. Now the background on this page, I used my Mungio oil pastels, which worked really great. I hadn't used them on Amazon paper yet. And so they're a really opaque medium, which is perfect. I really like the bold colors. So I just colored onto the page like I do with my Neocolor 2s, and then blended with a little makeup sponge like this. And I pretty much went through, I think, 2 or 3 of these though. They're just, you know, cheap little blending sponges that I get in a package off of Amazon, but they worked really well for blending the oil pastels. And I went over the Ohuhu base with my Prismacolor pencils, and yeah, it really came together nicely. This one was very easy as well. I think I did have a picture on Pinterest that I pulled for inspiration for this page, and it worked out really well. Incidentally, I already grabbed it from my supply, but I have a lot of people that ask me how I seal the oil pastels, because if you don't use a sealer on the oil pastel, it will rub off. And you can see here, it's not coming off at all. And this is what I used. I used this Winsor & Newton matte varnish. Now this is for oil and acrylic paintings, so it's specially formulated to go over the oil pastels, and it has a matte finish, so it's not really a shiny finish at all, which is fine with me. I kind of like the matte finish actually, and that worked really well. Of course, I sprayed it outside in, you know, in the backyard, so because it can be a little bit fumy, but if you follow the directions on the can, you will be just fine. And for the splatters, I believe I used my Winsor & Newton ink here as well. So the next page I colored out of was another page that I asked you all about in a poll. I had a few pages pulled from this book that I thought would be fun to do, kind of Halloween themed, and you all picked the pumpkin jack-o'-lantern page, and so that is the one that I did here. And I used, I think it was just one Neo color for the background. And because the pages are single-sided in this book, I was able to base it with an alcohol marker. So I used my Ohuhu alcohol markers as a base and then went over with my Prismacolor pencils. And I believe I used just one Art paint pen for all of the highlights and accents here. And then I went over with some black sparkle. It wasn't really a paint, it was kind of like a spray that I ended up using to give a splatter effect to the page. I don't know if you can really see it. It didn't show up too well in the picture that I posted on Instagram, but you can definitely see it in person. Also, I used Derwent ink tints for the vines and the leaves and the flowers here, and that really made the process a little bit quicker, kind of sped things up, and I was just having a lot of fun using my Derwent ink tints this month. So the next book I colored out of was Mythographic Magic Apothecary. Now this book is a new one to me. I just recently got it. I can't remember if it was the end of September or beginning of October. Anyway, I was dying to work out of it. And this is the page that I did. And it is also up on my channel. And you can see there, I don't know if it's showing up on camera, the reflective areas are with my Coliro pearl colors, kind of a metallic watercolor. And I also based this one with alcohol markers and then went over with my Prismacolor pencils. Now, I did this background, this black background, by using a Tombow water-based marker base, and then I went over with my Prismacolor black pencil. What that does is, you know, when you put a marker base down, you can see the lines, and then if you go over it with the black pencil, it smooths it out and evens it out. And that is my preferred way to do a black background. Now, I was thinking of making a specific short kind of a how-to video on how I create my black backgrounds doing that. Let me know in the description box if that's something that you would like to see. And then I can make a little quick video on that. But anyway, yeah, so Prismacolor pencils, a few little Art pens. Actually, I think it was just one Art paint pen, my white Posca, and that was pretty much it for this page here. But yeah, it was fun to do, and I'm glad I actually got to a page out of this book this month. So the last book that I worked out of was Color Like Crazy, Kaleidoscope Mandala Designs by Mary Tanana. I recently did a video where I showed the volume 1 and volume 2 and the pages that I had colored out of those because they are my most colored in mandala books that I currently own. Now I have colored a lot of pages out of this book. That's why it's kind of fat, because I like to use markers for my mandalas in these, especially on the Amazon paper. So the page that I finished this month was this page here, and I love the fall colors. The reds and oranges and yellows really pop on the page, and I used my gold glitter sparkle pop pen for that added shine and sparkle. Hopefully it is picking up there on the camera, but I have so much fun doing these mandala designs. I mean, it's really relaxing to me. I can just put on my music and just kind of zone out for a while. And And so this is a speed color. If you would like to check that out, I do have a playlist of speed coloring mandalas on my channel, and those are always fun to watch. So yeah, that is pretty much it for October. I hope you enjoyed these pages. If you have any questions about the pages or what I use, just let me know in the comments down below. And so I'll see you in the next video. Take care, friends. Bye now.